Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Daily D. And today's topic is the finishing or the wrapping up of our Creating Your Own Economy series. So today I'm going to take it a little further and tell you how you can create it. But before we get there, let's recap on what an economy is. An economy, by definition, is the science of household management. Again, that the science of household management. Now that sounds very formal, very technical, but really what it means is your plan scientifically to manage what goes around or goes on around you. And when I think about why we should do this, I always think about why not first. Secondly, I always think about the people around me, my wife, my family, my mom, my brothers and sisters, my aunts, my uncles, everybody in my family that is benefiting from my economy. Because, quite honestly, an economy that I'm creating today is really to benefit those around me. Most importantly, of course, me, because if I wasn't doing this for me, then it wouldn't be possible. I have to think about me first, and then I got to think about the others. But let's think about this, right? So, why should you do it? Because it's what we were put on this earth to do, to create great things, right? How to do it. Now that's a challenge. So here's what I know. If we really take back what it is that an economy does for us, when we think about economy, we think about finance. So if I were to say, how do you create an economy? How do you do it? Most people would think about savings or getting more money. And in all honesty, that's probably true. But what I do believe here is asking a specific set of questions. One of them being, where are you in your current economy? Are you where you want to be? What do you need to do to get there? And I like to think about the four components, right? The four components are pieces of an economy: the health, the wealth, the faith and values, and legacy. And then what I like to do here is I want to break it down so that it kind of makes sense as to why it's hard to do it, by the way. And I'm going to get real personal here because this is something that I struggle with, and maybe you do too. So, when I think about the number one guider of an economy to me, if I looked at the four pieces, it's not health and it's not wealth, it's the faith and the values. And if I had to break down faith and values into one single sentence or word, it'd be principles. The principles that we live by or that I live by. And if you're faith-based, if you believe in God and you've read the Bible, then there's something called the Ten Commandments. And if you think about the Ten Commandments, those are principles to live by. Thou shalt not steal, right? Honor their mother, their family, their wife. You have to think about life in that sense, because what happens is these guiding principles, faith and values, are really what determine the other areas of your economy. And it's the one area that I struggle the most with because I don't really have strong enough principles, or maybe not reinforced principles. And when I think about reinforced, meaning I don't have something that reminds me of this every single day. So because I don't have that, I haven't created an acronym. I haven't pushed myself to write it down, to put it on my walls, right? That's really what we need to do in order for us to create an economy. We got to think about it from the simplest form, right? So a principle could be some of the health things I've mentioned in the past, right? Half of my body weight in water every day. That could be a principle, right? Health is a principle. And saving 30% of my income could be a principle. Spending less than I make could be a principle, right? There are things that we can put into place that if we live by those principles, we would do so much better in life. If health is one, it could be don't eat after 7, right? Could be don't eat fried foods. Now, these are simple little things. Now, you don't have to, I'm only using these little principles. Like these are These are not things I would write on the wall. Don't eat fried foods, right? That could be the start. But my real principle for life is live a healthy life. And whatever that looks like could be drinking water, eating better, doing those things, right? Save so much of my income. You see, this is kind of me in some respects rambling, but what I'm getting at is if you don't have something that guides you every day, then how do you make decisions to control your own economy? You can't. And it's very hard. It's one of my challenges as well. It's one of my challenges. One of my non-negotiables some days is I can't make decisions because I don't have a thing to follow, a path to lead me. And so I challenge you today to create some principles that guide you to a path of creating your own economy. Think about the faith, the values that you have, right? And I'll end with this. In order to create your own economy, the word your needs to be emphasized. It doesn't need to be somebody else's, it needs to be yours. You see, when I look at this world that we live in today, and I look about me, and I look about the things that I've done and the things that others are doing and the people around me. You see, I'm married, I have a wife. I don't have children, but I have a wife. And she's like number one in my life. But she can't create my economy. She can't. And I don't want to create hers either. You see, there may be some synergy that we can create together, but ultimately I can't help her. I can't force her to do anything other than what she wants to do. And so her legacy, her values, her health and her wealth are her own, and as are mine. Now, when we combine them, it may emphasize the world. Like it may 10x it, if you will. But she's got to think about it. I got to think about it. If I had children, I'd say the same thing. So here's the deal. Stop thinking about your economy being controlled by somebody else, because it's not. Your children, your wife, your husband, your family doesn't dictate your economy. They don't tell you how healthy you can be. They don't tell you how wealthy you can be. They don't tell you how much or what to believe in. And they definitely aren't going to say anything great about you if you don't do great things. That's your legacy. So think about that, because when I think about my own economy, I think about my own economy, and so should you. So this is a summary of the last of what we'll call creating an economy, but more importantly, I hope this has gotten you interested or intrigued in your own economy. And if you want more information, read my book, coming out, new release, Creating Your Own Economy. All right, guys, I wish you nothing but health, wealth, success, but most importantly, freedom. Thanks.